Yeah, hello guys. I know I just came online again without telling you guys this because it's not Saturday, and anybody that sees this live could actually watch and join to, if it's your free time, you can watch this video anytime you like. It's my free time, and I've decided to use it to explain something just so you can, you know, push further on your assignments. Uh, we've we've given out a curriculum that you need to understand for you to become a complete engineer. So anytime we are free, the classes are so many. The curriculum is very comprehensive. So anytime I'm free, I try as much as possible to make sure I help out as much as possible. So I'm going to go further a little bit on pointers today. So we can go something, we can, study something else tomorrow on our live stream every 9 a.m. on Saturday. For now, I would, dive into one of your assignments to just start it up, just so when you are doing it, you have the fundamentals, you know how to go about it again. So we are still learning C. We are still trying to understand all the concepts, how the computer sees computer programs, how the computer understands stuff. So that's why we are using C to fully understand the basics of uh, software engineering and how code is being interpreted by the computer. Um, Without saying much, I'd like to jump right into it, right into your assignments, to see what I can do about this, about it. Hmm. Okay, we've got like a few people here. Yeah, good morning, Jack. Is it still morning? Yeah, it's still morning. All right. So let's go right into it. Um, for those of you that are not here yet, you don't have to be live when I'm recording this video. This is a self-paced training. The entire assignments are on your dashboard, and you can take any of the assignments, classes, study any material anytime you're free. You just need to have an active dashboard to do that. Um, yeah. So let me dive right into it. Right into it I go. Okay. Yeah, this is your second pointers assignment. And here it's saying that we should write the function that concatenates two strings using uh, string concatenate function. So we should build it, and it should take uh, two parameters. You know, it should take two parameters, dest and char. These are the two parameters that it should take. It says append the source. My computer is really low. It says appoint the source to dest, append the source to dest, and then return dest, whatever dest is. If you come down and you read uh, through the main.c file that we'll be using to run this code, you'll see that uh, it's saying here we should include a main.h file, which we are going to create. What's going on? We should include a main.h file, which we are obviously going to create now. It also says we can print the value of S1 and S2 as hello and world, and then uh, we can do a pointer where we run the string cat function that appends whatever is in S2 to S1. That way, if we print the value of S1 and we also print the value of S2 as well as the value of pointer, the value of S1 is now going to be uh, hello world. Remember, we are going to print the value of s1, and it would have been hello. The value of s2 here would have been world. And then after running this function, the value of x1 is now hello world. S2 is still going to be world, and uh, what's this? The value of the pointer that we used in, you know, running this our function is now going to still be hello world. In essence, that's to tell you that the function you're building is going to put whatever is in S2 into S1, is going to concatenate it. What concatenation means in programming is like to add something to another thing. You know, you add something to the end of an existing thing. Let's say a string, you add some characters to the end of it, or just like tying a rope at the end of something, you know, to add other stuffs. You know, that's how concatenation feels like in programming. So this is very easy. It's very easy if you've been following up with the training and all that we've been doing. You know that this is really easy. And like I said, before you come online for all of these things, you guys should take learn watching the materials seriously. You know, we provide a lot of materials that would help you all to solve all of these problems. So let's make a directory for this. This is for more pointers. Okay, so there's nothing here. We Let me check if you can hear me. Okay, I guess I'm being heard. Yeah, I guess I'm being heard. All right. So that's that for that. We should go further to build. First things first, we are supposed to have a main.h file. It's really important. And I remembered last time that I just made the main.h file really scanty. I did not write it the proper way. So that's just because I knew it was going to work and maybe I was lazy. So this time around, let's do the proper main.h file. First thing we should do in the main.h file is to check if, you know, the functions in there are defined or not. If they are not, before we define them. If they are, then there's no need doing it again. So first thing is to say if not defined, if this main.h file is not defined, then we can, you know, define it, file underscore main, and then we define, if file underscore main is not defined, then we define it. Okay, and we do an end if after the file. So in between these two lines, we are to build all the prototypes that we have to build for this program. Uh, this one, the prototype here was this. Okay, so let's just copy this because I'm kind of lazy. I want to type too much as possible. Okay, so that's it. That's our first prototype for the first code that we have to be writing, and that's that for our main.h file. The next thing that we should be doing is uh, I think we should copy out the main.c file first or something. Let's go. Should we work on the main.c file or work on the code straight up? Let's see. How do they want us to save this thing? Okay. So let's work on this file. Zero dash string cats.c. Zero dash strcat.c. That's what we call it. Okay. vi zero dash str cat dot c. Yeah. So first thing we want to do is we want to include our main.h file. We want to include our main.h file. The next thing we want to do is we want to bring in standard library for manipulating a string because we want to do concatenations here. So the standard library we're using that contains that function is, I think, string.h. Oh, sorry, I'm doing this like it, it, yeah. So that's an error. Yeah, I remember I always tell you guys to not forget to leave a comment. I'm just not doing comments here because I don't have too much time for this stuff. So let's go right into it. Underscore string cat. I think that's what the name is, right? So it takes in two characters. I think dest and char, right? And they are both characters. It takes in a dest and a char source, right? And both characters dest and source, right? Yeah, those are the two parameters it takes in. Okay, and they said we should return dest, right? So we are returning the dest, right? Yeah. So what should this do? It's very simple. This is one of the most simple codes we might have written all this while. So we are just going to bring in a function from this standard library that concatenates two string. Adds a string to another. And what's that? The string cat function. It's simple. And then we put in dest and source. That's simple. Like this solves our entire problem. If we go copy our main.c file that was provided us, uh, yes, that's go copy our main.c file. We're provided with this main.c file to run our test. So let's copy it. Okay, and let's guess this. Yeah. So let's say cat dash zero dash main.c, and let's do a paste here. Control D. So we've got this stuff. C module. Okay. The next thing we want to do is we want to GCC this stuff. So we want to run zero dash. We want to create a bundle for all of this. We want zero dash. What do we call it? String cat as well. Yeah, we want zero dash string cat as well. And then what else? What else? What else? What else? What else? We want to put it in an output file saying, let's just call it zero dash string cat, like our convention does. So we are not getting an error. That's to say that we've done all things well. Yeah. So zero dash string cat is here. It's been created here too as well. So we can run that now. Zero dash string cat, and you can see, voila, we have our first the same way the output was supposed to be. We've got the exact same output as I got when I initially ran the code. I'd done all of these things before setting them. I had to do them. That's how I know that they are correct as well. That's what makes keeping up with this training a little bit complicated, because I have to do these things myself before I can set them for you guys. So I'm confident that they work. Okay. Um. Yeah. String card, string card, string card, string card. Okay. So the next one says we should do string cards, only that this time we should, the difference between the two functions, the first one and this one, is that this time we are telling it the number of, characters, the number of characters to concatenate, the number of characters in source to add to dest. You know, that's the next one. It's still very simple. It's not too difficult. If you see here, we are adding like. Anyways, let me just do this stuff. I've told you what it is already. Uh, this hello, this world, and here, as you can see, it's printing source one and source two, and it's telling it what amount of characters to add here. It's doing the same thing as well. So this last one is actually going to print the whole thing because, yeah, see, it's printing the whole thing. You see this other one was printing only one, so it was adding only one here, only one, only W. Okay, so because it had added only W, the value of dest was now all of this, was updated to all of this. That's why we are using pointers, so we can keep updating things dynamically, and then it now added all of this again. That's why it's hello world W. It's like hello W before world. Okay, so let's build that. I'm trying as much as possible to, you know, end this video as fast as possible because I don't have too much of time. Um, let's do that. I forgot the name of the file and I forgot to copy the prototype. Yeah, that's the prototype, and it's one that string and cat. So I've copied this stuff. We'll go here and let me see. Hope you guys are seeing the right things. Yeah, you guys are seeing the right things. So we go here. Yeah. So let's open main.h and let's add that prototype here. Okay. And then let's vi1 dash string ncat.c, right? That was what we called it. Okay. So what do? We bring in the same we include the same library. What was the samurai library we used? It was string.h. That's where we manipulate strings from. We have to bring in our main.c file, our main.h file. Yeah. And now we need to go do our prototype. It was returning a character and it was underscore s. We added an n there. Then was taking in character dest. It was a pointer. Yeah. And character pointer to string. And then was taking in an integer, the number of n, the number of characters we want to use. So it was still returning, still going to return dest, right? Dest. And then it was pretty much as simple as the other one. We are already bringing in the standard library that contains this stuff. So all we have to do is to call the function to add it and tell it how many this add source to dest and add so number of any number here specified as n. So this is pretty much it. This is like all there is to this stuff. Remember, always add comments so you don't forget. If you add a comment to this code that we just finished writing, anytime in the future you come and you forget, you when you read the comments, it will remind you that this is the function we use to do this and that, and it lives in the string.h standard library, you know. So that's that for it. Let's go see the main.c file that we were supposed to use. Yeah, this main.c file is short. Okay. Um, and we should check it out. GCC. No, 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 no. We've not added before we compile. Uh, one dash main dot c. Okay. Okay. So we can make all executable again, and then let's do GCC. Uh, what was it? What was it? What was it? It was one dash main dot c and one dash string ncat dot c. We want to put it in one dash. We want to put it in dash o first. One dash string ncat. Okay, so it's complaining. What's it complaining? It's saying there's an undeclared error. Undeclared. We are first using source without declaring it. Note each declared identifier we used only once. Okay, so they are complaining that we did not declare source. And where should this become? Did we make an error when typing it? No, we didn't. We did not make an error. We did not make an error when typing this, did we? Okay, let's go see VI. No, I think the error is supposed to be in this one that's been that. Yeah, I see the error. So we called this string instead of source. So we did declare it in the, yeah. So that's it. Now we go run. I just use the arrow up button, to go back to previous commands I've run. And as you can see, voila, we no longer have any error. So ls, we can see that the file has been created, and to run it, one dash string the cat, voila, that's the expected output. You can see I explained it before that this was the first part of it. This was dest, this was source, and then we added dest with one. We added one of source, the first character in source, to dest, so dest became from this part to this part, and then the final thing added all the characters in source again to the current value of source. And I told you it keeps adding and changing whatever is in the address of dest, because we are using pointers. That's what we taught you guys on the pointers first class. Anyways, I'm just here to make these things a little bit easy for you, and then I would leave and allow you to finish the rest. Like I told you, it's very important for you to use your own mind to solve these problems. You know, this is how you grow as a software engineer. I won't solve all the problems for you. If I do that, then you're not growing. Trust me. So I'm not going to do that because I want you to grow. So I solve a few just so you start getting comfortable doing it after watching mine, and then you continue from there. You take it from there. Um, yeah. So what next? What next? What do I do next? Okay, let's go back to see what the next question is. So this one is saying we should copy. You know, it's pretty much the same thing, the exact same thing. If you look at the function, it's almost the same, and the file is in the same place. The code that you need to run is still in the exact same what do they call it? It's still in the same standard library, you know. So it's very, very simple what you're to do here. In fact, it's the exact same thing we've done twice. So I believe that you guys can do this one. This one, compare two strings. Still very simple, nothing much. There's nothing that I should worry about or try to teach you. Still very simple. Saying write the function that compares two strings in this and this, and it tells. That's simple. Take a look at the output, what is supposed to be returning, and find out why and do this stuff. It's very simple. I think this one is a little bit complicated. Write the function that reverses the content of an array of integers. Yeah, this one is very technical. So this is the one I'm going to do. This might be the last one I'm going to solve for you guys and allow you to go solve the rest. Yeah, this one is just an extension of this one. It looks it's the same thing. Okay, this. No, this is different. This is different from this one. Okay, let me do this one and this one, and then I'll let you go do the rest. It's almost done with. Okay, that was number 4. So I'm going to explain it because it's a little bit technical, very technical. Um, it says write a function that reverses the content of an array of integers. An array of integers is like an array, container containing a lot of numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to whatever number as the case may be, And like I said, you need to study the main.c file and see the output, see what it wants you to do. It wants you to reverse engineer this thing. This one is counting from 0 up, and this one is counting down, to 0. So we need to reverse engineer this stuff. We need to, create an array that contains all of these numbers like this code has done, you know. And then remember here, there's a print array function here. But before I explain the print array function, let's talk about main the main function. This is how best to make you understand. Like I said, the in C, the main function is the most important function. It is the function that calls every other function. So if you want to understand somebody's work, the blueprint of the entire work is in the main function. Don't start bothering about all the other files. Read the main function and you understand what the other files are doing. That way, when you want to make an update on a particular file, the main function will tell you what is wrong, like what other files are doing, what they should be doing. And then if something is going wrong, you now go to that file to go check out what's wrong there, to see what functions are there, how to update it and all that. But the main function carries the blueprint, in a C program. All right, so you see here we already have an array A, this array A for array here, and it contains some integers. And then below we've come on. Okay, we can finish this one. This might be the last one because I'm running out of power right now. And then below you can see, yeah, here they say print array. It's running the print array function, and the print array function, what it does is it's you know it's printing out this array the way it is. That's it here. And now that's it at the first line here on top. And now we now do the reverse array function. What the reverse array does is it switches the array, makes uh, the part at the end to become the part at the front, and then we print array again. Print array now prints out the entire array again, and then it now starts from the back to the front. So all we have to build is the reverse array function, and we have to make it, you know, print this thing. It has to start printing from the back to the front. So we need to sit down and draft an algorithm in our head, to tell ourselves, what's the best way to do this stuff, you know. That's the first thing. That's the most important thing. We need to find out what the best way is to solve this problem, you know. Um, yeah. So let's dive right into it. Let's dive right into it. Uh, okay. So first things first, if you want to learn how to print the array stuff, it's very simple. What they are doing here is they are incrementing I for each value of I that's going up. You know, print that value of the array at position I. Go study this print array function to clearly understand it. You might need it in your work as a software engineer in the future. Let's copy this stuff and let's paste our main.c file here for this code. This was for, what's the name? Reverse array and rev underscore array.c. So first of all, let's do for.main dot for. My computer is really low and I'm almost running out of I need to rush this stuff. For dash main dot c. Okay, yeah, that's that. And we need to build our own vi uh, for dash rev underscore array, right? That was the name, for dash rev underscore array dot c. Yeah. So first things first is we want to put the prototype in our main.h file before we forget. Let's copy this and put it in our main.h file. Vi main. Oh, sorry, we already opened this stuff. Let's pick this up. So vi main.h. Okay. Okay. Uh, so for dash rev underscore array dot c. Yeah. So first things first is we need to include our main dot h file. We don't need a standard library for this. We are going to be building this ourselves. So it's returning void. Yeah, it's returning void and it was reverse array underscore array. Okay. It's taking in an integer. What was that? Pointer a, right? Pointer a, and it's taking in another integer n, the number of sorry, this the main function, the line of code. Yeah. So it's not going to be returning anything because it's void. What we want to do here is we want to hold. Basically, in my mind, as I'm seeing this thing, I'm thinking about swapping, the values from the left side to the right side, from the right side to the left side. So we are using pointers here. I want to, have a variable that holds, the variable on the right, and then if swaps it with the one on the left. So let's create some variables. Let's say x, and remember you can create variables on one line, and let's have a kind of temporary storage, where we can hold variables. I have my algorithms all planned out. Before I started writing this code, I had already used a pen and a paper to think about this thing in my head. I'm just going to explain it as much as possible as I am writing this code. So let's say that, imagine that the total number of digits in the array A is n, right? And the first position